You got to believe.
Welcome to Girl Get Real.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Can I stop you for a second?
Oh, what?
Can I help?
Oh, are these not healthy for me?
Maybe they're not healthy, but I'm not a regular dietitian. I'm a cool dietitian.
All right, girl. I have something for you. You're a dietitian. I don't have a doctor. I lost my doctor back in 2020. He retired. I'm from Canada. I'm born and raised here, and I can't find a doctor. And my only backup plan was that I was like, well, maybe I'll go to a naturopath. But what would you suggest?
I think that a naturopath would be a great option, but I also think that a dietitian is something that more people need to consider seeing when they are worried about their health, because our food is foundation, right? And if you go to a dietitian, I'm going to ask about, who are you living with? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? Do you have support with you? Are you including exercise? Are you managing your stress? And then how does food play into all of that?
Oh my gosh, I need you. I actually need to hire you. I actually do have a very stressful life. I did a hormone test a couple years ago, which is probably also very outdated. I probably need another one, but it showed all my cortisol, cortisone, DHEA.
Yep.
Everything was basically as low as it could go on the chart.
Yep.
And so I fumbled my way around trying to figure out what vitamins I needed. I've gone on and off these crazy diets of like, do I need to be paleo? Do I need to be a carnivore? Like, what are we eating? And then I box, which is like a pretty like high intense
Totally.
sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't take any like pre-workout. I don't know if I'm supposed to put salt in my water or a lemon or a pinch of paprika.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it paprika? No, cayenne pepper.
Cayenne pepper.
Paprika wouldn't be very good.
I don't know. It's a smoky paprika berry.
Where would we start? How would we start?
So first of all, I would say actually that is something that people come in and are like, okay, what supplement should I be taking? What other things should I be taking? The first thing is always your foundation. And the thing that I say is you can't grow upon a foundation that's not solid. So right away, I'm going to ask you like, how is your sleep? And what are you actually eating food first?
Am I actually answering these questions right now? I wake up at 3 a.m.
No, you don't.
I do.
Do you really?
Well, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I can't sleep. Anyways, continue.
Okay. But my point would be I would ask you like, hey, what are you eating throughout the day? And then I would take a look at that meal.
Chicken nuggets.
Every meal?
More than I should.
See, so this is an example though where someone would just go in and be like, okay, I eat chicken nuggets. I'm like, what else are you eating? Let's not just focus on the negative first. Let's focus on what do you think you're doing well? That's always what I'll ask a patient is like, what are some things that you think you're doing well in regards to your nutrition? And then we kind of build from there. So even in regards to the supplements, when you're kind of overwhelmed with all of it, the first thing, like I ask about your supplements, but I'm more like, tell me what you're eating at first thing in the day. Are you fueling yourself enough? Knowing that you're doing boxing, I'm like, is she eating something or is she coming home from boxing if she's someone that works out in the evening and just crashes? Or if you're someone who's working out in the morning, are you rushing from that workout to work and completely forgetting to eat in the middle? And then it's 3 o'clock and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't ate. Because that's where I'm looking at. Like, that's a foundation first. You can take all the supplements you want, but if you're not getting that fuel steadily throughout the day, you're trying to balance something on an unstable foundation.
Let's say we have the foundation set.
Yep.
Then what else do I need to do? Like my foundation, I like spend some time with you, a dietitian, and like the foundation is set. Now, how do I start like benefiting from like a dietitian?
That would be a perfect time where we get that foundation out. We're like, okay, I know you're getting enough protein. I know you're getting enough fiber. Now we can kind of go through the food noise, that's what I call it, of the internet and go, okay, for your population, what would be the most beneficial thing? Because there can be studies on, I don't know, paprika, but was that study done on 20-year-old males? Then it's not going to be beneficial for you. So we can kind of talk about with the stage of life that you're at, what is most beneficial. So a lot of the patients I see are in perimenopause, menopause. 4 things that are really important: calcium, vitamin D, protein, and fiber. So that would be an example of where someone might go, okay, I'm going to take the calcium supplement right away. And I would go, pause. let's go back to that foundation. What are you eating first? Supplements, in my mind, should be exactly that, a supplement to your diet.
Okay. Not the diet.
Not, yeah, exactly.
Like,
You got it.
yeah, I'm guilty of maybe taking a handful of different pills, like vitamin B or vitamin D. I take all these vitamins on an empty stomach, and then I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's not necessarily bad, but if you're taking vitamin D, for example, that is going to be better absorbed if you're taking it with a source of fat, because it's a
Like a
fat-soluble
yogurt.
vitamin. Yeah, exactly. Avocado, yogurt. Even if you had like a little bit of chia seeds, whatever that may be, that's going to show up differently in how you absorb that nutrient.
Wow.
So even something like that's a perfect example where a dietitian comes in. I have a patient come in, I'm taking vitamin D, but my vitamin levels are still low. And I go, well, are you taking it with food? There's different supplements that kind of counteract each other too. And so that's something to keep in mind.
You do testing. So
I don't do testing. I'm not allowed to do testing as a dietitian. It's not within our scope. However, I can provide recommendations that if someone has a family doctor, say, Kate, go see your doctor and ask about these things and they'll get the blood work done. Or if someone does not have a family doctor, then they can go, let's say they are going to a naturopath already. That naturopath, I can say, could you check these things on the blood work? And they'll do it all.
And do you have to pay for it out of pocket if you don't have a doctor, or is that?
So the blood work? Yeah. So if you're in, this is me speaking from BC, because that's where I'm practicing. You can go to Rocket Doctor is a website that's online.
Rocket Doctor.
Yeah. And it's essentially
That's
like,
how
it's
exciting.
Okay. It's essentially like,
A doctor on a rocket?
well, it is like if the rockets, so, but it's honestly good marketing by them, because now we're spending our time talking about Rocket Doctor. And
That was catchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They can act kind of as like your family doctor. Like it'd be going to a walk-in, but you don't go to a walk-in.
Okay.
You just submit online, and then when they actually call you, say, yeah, I just want to order blood work. They'll do the requisition, and then you have to go to a local blood lab and get that done.
Okay, but I have to see you first. Then you have to fill out the paperwork to check where I would be.
Yeah.
And then we kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rocket Doctor could kind of help us get there if we didn't have any other way to do that.
Totally.
Okay. Because a lot of people are without.
Oh, 100%. And so many of my patients are without family doctors, and that's actually kind of why they're seeing me. They're like, I have these health conditions. I've been told I have them. I've got blood work back. My cholesterol is high, but then that was kind of it. It was like, you have high cholesterol.
So being a dietitian, being a woman, being in a field of healthcare, and, you know, having even like a nutritionist, doctors, naturopaths, you know, everybody that is in your health field, like, how do you attract clients? Like, how do people find out about you?
Mm-hmm.
And like, how are you different from the other one?
From the other ones? So something that I believe is when I've had effective healthcare, that person has made me feel validated. I feel like I'm having a genuine conversation like I am with you right now. It's not someone who is there who is better than me, and that I'm coming in and this is vulnerable patient walking in vulnerable and leaving feeling vulnerable and disappointed that my things weren't met. Something that I think that is unique about me is that I do want you to feel like it's kind of like two friends chatting. Like, let's talk about this in a comfortable way.
I was just going to say a comfortable environment.
Yeah. Like the clinic I work in, it's pink. We have comfy chairs. There's plants in there. And I'm just like, okay, do you want tea before you sit down? Like, let's just hang out and chat.
This sounds like somewhere I should come. Do you offer therapy?
You know what? There's actually a therapist there too.
Is there?
Yeah.
So is there multiple?
Yep. So I work at Glow Integrative Clinic. So we have therapists, acupuncture, massage therapy, pelvic floor physio, which is something that I have to say more women need to think about that. It's not something that we take. We kind of get shy and embarrassed, but I think it's a really important thing to also address. Just like multitude of different services. And I think that it's not a stuffy clinic. It's not like you come in and it's cold and sterile and metal instruments everywhere. It's like, okay, the chairs literally you can lean back.
Do you have to get up on the crunchy paper?
No, there's not even that. It's just
I
literally
will never go to a doctor again as long as I don't have to sit on that crunchy paper.
No, and it's just, I have patients who, let's say, have some pretty bad social anxiety. And so
Right.
the idea of going to a health professional, it's like, oh my gosh. So I do discovery calls where people can just talk to me virtually for 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And they can just say, I say it's like kind of a vibe check. If we get along, if they feel like, no, I don't really think I'm going to open up to this person. Or if they're like, no, you know what? I feel comfortable enough talking to her. And even though it's professional and it's your health and it's serious, I always try to find a way to make someone laugh in every appointment because I want them to recognize it doesn't need to be like all doom and gloom and scary.
Yeah.
Because usually when people come to me, something's wrong. Right. And so we're trying to figure out how to make that right. So how can we make light of that and make it enjoyable along the way?
Right. Wow. Oh my goodness. I want to come see you. I don't know what I'm gonna why don't we just start with like my foundation?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where I would need to start. I don't have any direct illness. Last year I was having chronic hives and I did the IVs, like the vitamin IV, and that was
Did it make a difference?
yeah, big time. And I love doing something like that, but I need to be healthy every day, all day. I need something that's like an everyday, here's the plan. This is what you do.
Yeah.
Don't grab the Doritos and eat them. Don't go get the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
After boxing, what am I eating? Like a piece of chicken and an avocado?
Well, I think the thing that's really tough is that I know you're like me and you have your hands in a million things, right? And so it's always go, go, go. If it's a Dorito bag, like while we're trying.
Say my hands just like in all these different things.
But it is go, go, go. Like I look at my schedule and I'm like, okay, so like I was walking my dog today and I literally thought, okay, I can walk my dog and take this business call at the same time. I'll just make sure I bring my AirPods and I can multitask. Okay, how do I fit in all these things? But the thing we don't think a lot of is how do I fit food into that calendar?
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're at the end of the day, you're like so tired. You're like super low energy. Maybe you're having brain fog. And then I know myself, this time of year, I love mini eggs.
Oh, yes. I think
I love mini eggs. Oh, yeah, because Parachute ice cream has mini egg ice cream right now. I'll wait till the end of the day, and then suddenly I'm starving. Like, I eat everything in sight, and it's like I just come into the fridge, I'm like, hey, what can I grab? And it is, like, the random thing. Like, or I don't even have the patience to wait till I get home, right? Like, then that's when you're driving through and going, oh my gosh, like, I need the chicken nuggets. I need whatever.
Speaking of, you said it was like this season for all those like treats, but it made me think of women's health and that time of the month. So, and that whole like getting older, I feel like when it starts to become that time of the month and you want to like eat everything in sight, especially the treats and the chocolates and all the things that are on the shelf, and you want to drink like copious amounts of fluids. And I feel like there's such a hormone thing going on at the time. And you are a huge advocate for women's health. So I don't know, what are some things we can do when we're kind of having those like waves of like wanting to just
eat everything
eat
less ideal foods. Like, so something that I always say is I never will call a food good or bad.
Right.
There's foods we have sometimes and there's foods we have more often because foods don't carry moral value.
Right.
Right. And so when I think about different foods and what we're choosing, let's say I am having that craving for that food that I think that doesn't fuel my body in the way that I need. I probably am not thinking that in the moment. I'm just like, I just want mini eggs. So my quick tip that I give every patient that comes to see me is a lot of the time it comes down to mindful eating, which a lot of us don't do.
Is that like chewing my food slowly and thinking about it?
It can be, but it can be even simpler than that. It can be when I get that pang of, oh, I want mini eggs, pause, take a sip of water, count to 3, and think about where is my hunger coming from. It sounds really weird.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm thinking what I would actually do. I would be like, pause, not going to do it, not going to do it, not going to do it. And then I would do it.
But then, see, you're not thinking about the thing that I'm saying. You're going, I'm not going to do it. But I'm not saying don't say I'm not going to do it. Because then you're further saying, I can't do this. And so you're going to want to do it. If I say a food's bad, you can't have this food, you're going to want it 10 times
100%. And that's why I brought that up. Because I think most of us, if we say we can't have something, we just want it even more.
Yeah.
Okay. So mindful eating.
So that's where I say, like, think about, okay, where is that coming from? Am I genuinely hungry? Like, can I feel in my stomach that I'm hungry? No. Like, that's all you have to do is tune in on your stomach. And if you recognize I'm not hungry, then it's like, okay, is there something else I could do that would make me feel better?
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of comes down to, is just that slowing down between thought and action.
Okay. Slow it down.
Yeah. So
Slow it
take
down.
the sip of water. You don't even have to count to 3. Sometimes just taking a sip of water makes you go, oh, it's just thirsty.
Doctors obviously play a huge role in our lives, but you're a pretty powerful, smart woman. You know a lot about health, women's health, nutrition, diet. What do you do to be successful in your everyday?
I show up as, okay, for example, like today, I'm wearing red pants.
No, girls, I just like, girl, I want to go out for lunch after.
Oh, I know, like but this is a perfect example. Like, I remember once in a job interview, we were talking about job interviews, and someone told me, when you're doing a job interview, wear one piece of clothing or one accessory that's going to make you stand out. So that when they're talking about the candidates later, they go, remember the girl with the leopard print shoes? I think of the same thing in how I show up to my patients. Like, I'm like, hey, who would be the dietitian that I would want to see?
You.
I want to see the girl with the leopard print shoes and the red pants. I want to be like, she's fun. And she walks in the room and she's, hey, how are you? Like, how's your day? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, traffic was bad, man. I feel you. Rather than like, hello, my name is Liv Rahal. I'll be your dietitian today. Like, that's not going to
I
stick
know.
out
I
to
think
anyone.
that's what we all think about. What is a dietitian?
Yeah.
And I think a strange image comes to mind of like, yeah, like kind of like a librarian. Like,
Oh, 100%.
not to put down any dietitian.
And
You're vibrant.
there's space for that, absolutely. But I also think that I want to make space in that field and redefine it. I want to redefine what a dietitian is. I don't want you to just look at a dietitian and think, okay, automatically it's weight loss and they're going to tell me everything I cannot eat. I
Right.
want to talk about, like, what are the foods you love? How do we make space for that? And these other things, and support you as a human. And so even when I go into an appointment, like, people will say like, oh, my weight. And I'm like, actually, I don't really care what the scale says. Let's talk about you. And one of my favorite things to say is, what do people call you? They call you Sammy. They don't
Yeah.
call you 3 numbers. So why are you defining yourself by those 3 numbers? And I think that's something that, in a system that is so based on wait. Okay, you're obese, then you're XYZ, and there's all this weight bias. That's not what anyone wants to feel when they come into an office. No matter what body size you're in, you want to feel valued and you want to feel important. Okay, let's talk about you. That's why I ask these questions. What do you like doing? How do you manage your stress? Because, like, I want you, again, to feel like I'm comfortable. I can talk about this stuff with her.
Yeah.
And so I think it really is about just showing up as, okay, I will say silly things, or I'll tell them that, like, yes, I ate mini eggs that day, because I also don't want to seem like this, like, robot of,
Yeah.
he eats everything perfect. I don't.
I think this is one thing I really like about you, is that I've never seen a dietitian before, but I do feel like there would be some kind of weird shame of like admitting to eating a chicken nugget or not sleeping properly, or doing things that seem wrong, feeling like a judgment behind it. So I think what you're saying is it's also really good for people to sort of not interview, but kind of research who a good dietitian might be for them.
Yeah.
If I was gonna go out and find a dietitian, how would I find you?
Book discovery calls with myself. Then you get to chat with me and see that, like, yes, this is a person I want to chat with. I am on Instagram, Live Laugh Lemons. It's a very easy name to remember. And you can find me at Glow Integrative Clinic. I also do seminars and talks for a number of different places. I've done one for the Fitness Academy. But I would say the biggest thing is to check out my Instagram. There's lots of good stuff on there.
Perfect. And then what is like one thing that people can take away from our conversation today about their health?
I think that it doesn't always have to be a focus on pharmaceutical health first. There's a place for that. But I think that we need to look at not pharmaceutical medicine, but lifestyle medicine. Pharmaceutical medicine has a place, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more effective if you're focusing on your lifestyle too. And so that's where there is a space for me to talk about with you. Okay, let's talk about, what are you eating? Because you can take all the drugs in the world, but if there's not that, again, foundation of food and health and exercise and mood and stress management, that pharmaceutical is not going to be nearly as effective.
Wow, amazing. I also just want to thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show you this product. So it's called Nourish. There's a kit actually here for you too.
Okay.
Nourish is a sea moss, St. Lucia sea moss. This one is freeze dried. This one here also,
This one's sun dried.
it's sun dried. But if you look at the instructions on the back, you actually go through a little process of that instruction, and it turns out into a jelly that then it only lasts 3 to 4 weeks in the fridge, and then you can add it to things. So a girlfriend of mine started this company. She's in Squamish, and she sent us both a little care package, and I'm super stoked about it. And I wanted to just ask you really quickly, because when I read the back of this, I sprinkled it on my dinner last night. I was also like, I don't know if this is how we do it.
What do I do with this?
Yeah, how do I do this? There's really good instructions here on it, but it says it contains 92 minerals, supports immune systems, boosts energy levels, regulates hormones, assists muscle and joint recovery, which are all very appealing to me.
Yeah.
And then it's vegan source for collagen, hair, skin, and nails. Is this something that you would recommend also like on a daily use?
Yeah, I think that this would be a really great thing to add in. It's like another one of those supplementary things you could totally add in. From what I see here on the vitamins and minerals, I mean, it's a really good source of iron. A lot of women are low in iron, so that would be something that would be great. And it even has some fiber too, which I will say so many people are lacking fiber. So this would be a really great way to bump up that fiber a little bit more.
Well, I just want to thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
And girl, you were real and you showed up for us today.
All in love for a friend. I sure did.
And I just want to take you out to go get a meal now because you're so beautiful. Thanks so much.
You got to believe.